Hello, everyone, and welcome to our after show, Afterthoughts. Here is Robin Joyce Miller with me. You get to see her pretty face. Look at that. Look at that beautiful face. And look
Oh,
at all the work. Look at all the creativity and the work behind her. It's just absolutely beautiful. Thank you so very much. It's, what we were talking about. All that's just one facet of what we were talking about, the underlying source of how the arts has crept into everything that this woman really does, and so many things we talked about. When you got into the pulpit and spoke, when you're performing, the performing of it, you did your poetry, you tell your stories, storytelling, the collage working, all of that has been just filtered in through it. And I thank you so much for letting us just get a little gander into your life. Such a full life of art.
well, it is a full life, and I absolutely love it. I mean, what to me, I know that there's the art, but my spirit,
Yes. Yes.
my in the work that I do, for example, Black Churches Matter. That piece has my spirit in it. So I have poetry in it, and it comes from here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel so blessed that I feel that what I give and what I do has to be part of um, the experience, my arts, and it comes through in the art, but it is something that I have to give to the world,
Mm-hmm.
not for me, but I believe that we're all given our gifts to share.
Yes. I think genuinely what happens is that a genuine artist doesn't do it for themselves. They do it because they have to.
Yes,
That it's a calling.
yes,
It is a
yes,
calling, and you have no
abs-
choice that you have to just
absolutely.
continue, and it
Yeah,
takes different forms. I
yeah,
was told this morning by someone that said, I knew you as a person who was a performer, but look at all the things that you do. It's a
yeah,
calling for you to adjust yourself to what is needed at the time,
yes.
and you don't forget what you had. You just add on,
Just add on.
and so all that hyphen. I tell
Allow the
you.
spirit to move me in
Mm-hmm.
places to what the next thing is and
Mm-hmm.
the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
But who I am an artist. So how I present myself is going to come through creatively and artistically,
All the time.
whatever
All the
I'm
time.
doing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. So what do
Mhm.
you think? Where do you think you're going now? So all of the things that we talked about, all the accomplishments that you've had, your work in the museums, your presentational work, your crafts work, all of those things. What do you want to do with all of that, or where do you see anything new that's on the horizon?
Well,
Where
here's
do you
what
go forward?
Yes. Well, here's what, first of all, I tend to try to take what's happening at a time, and I allow people to ask me things that sort of set a stage. For example, I'm working on the Black Lives Matter series. So that's something that I'm continuing. My husband and I have done 7 shows. I write the shows, but we're not finished.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I want to tell our story, the African American story, through the master artists. So I'm looking at master artists and master writers to use their words like, and still I rise, when we talk about the oppression of women, and we look at the art of Elizabeth Catlett, how she drew women, not
Mm-hmm.
the way women were depicted in the Jim Crow Museum as Jezebels and sapphires.
Yes.
So I'm looking at those things, I compare them, and I'm moving forward because I also want to do the kingdom. In fact, right now, this piece that's on my table, I'm working on telling the kingdoms of Africa. Whoops. And what I'm doing is
Mm.
using James Weldon Johnson's The Creation
The
to say that
creation.
Africa started, and this is the sun. And so, and I'm using African designs. And so where I'm going is just a matter of moments that happen to me that go, oh, okay, wait, I can do this. I can do this. And then this makes me think of that. For example, I was asked by my church to be on the planning committee to determine how the church should move forward after 9/11. Well, I mean, not after 9/11. I'm sorry. We were just talking about 9/11
Yeah.
before,
Mhm.
but after the pandemic,
Mhm.
not enough people are coming. So what I started thinking about is, since they have a Saturday program, I am going, and the Saturday program starts, it's a 4:30 church service, and it's for families. So at 3:30, I'd like to meet and do children's cultural stories. I want to talk about Haiti. I want, and on the Cape, we have a lot of Brazilians, we have Cape Verdeans. So I just today got a book called Mateo Goes to Cape Verde. And I want to tell, I want to do slideshow presentations where I have a little bit of Cape Verdean music and a story and some history, so that and then tie that in with the pastor to, and the person who does the music, so that the service after that is a continuation
Continuation of that.
So I'm still building things through the
Exactly.
art.
But you see, as again, here is
The
where the
arts.
visual arts has come in. Your thought process is very visual, even
Yes.
though
Yes, it is.
even though you do presentational thing, you start off with it being very visual in your head, and then you go to the next step with it.
I
So,
learn visually. I'm not a good auditory learner. And so
that's why you recognized it in the children.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so, because when you're talking, my mind goes in places that drifts. And if someone gives me an idea, hey, I want to do this and this, no, I need to see it.
Yes.
I can't hear your words. In fact, I can spell from inside, but if you start spelling words at me, I may not know the word. I have to go, what?
You have to start seeing it.
I have to see it.
Yes.
So,
yes. You might actually be a visual activist. I really, when you're saying that, I think that's really what you are, a visual activist. More an artist, of course, but everything that you receive, some of us receive things academically, and you can see the words in front of it. What you receive are images.
Right. I receive images all the time.
Yes. So it's like a visual activist, a visual activist, where when someone's talking to you, your filter is that you turn the words into imageries.
Yes, or yes, exactly. For example, because of the school that I was in, and children came from all over the world, es muy importante hablar español. So I started to learn Spanish, but I always tell Spanish people, puedo hablar español mejor que entiendo. That means I can speak it better than I can understand it. Because no one in my family speaks it, but puedo recordar muchas frases en mi mente. I can remember and memorize things that I see the words in front of me. And I can do that. If you start speaking to me, so when people start speaking Spanish, I go, no. Slowly
down. Yes. Can't see.
I can't do it because I'm not used to hearing Spanish.
Yes.
No one in my family speaks it. So it's important. My mother's aide is from Ecuador. So when she speaks to me, sometimes I can get some of it, but a lot of times I tell her, text message, please, because then I can see the word.
Yes.
And then yes.
How visual you are. You see
I'm
how
a visual person.
Yes.
So yes, I learned that way, and I teach others that way.
Exactly. So you are visual, and everything that you do, it's always a visual element into it. And and that's the art, that's that underlying thing all the way through. If you name anything that you've done, I bet you I could find the element in it that's visual, that starts.
Okay, wait a minute. Lately, since the pandemic, I do Audible books. Now, that I'm just listening. What I don't like about it is if there's a word that I'm not sure of, or a name, I don't know how to spell it all the time. So whereas in a book, you can see and you can look up. I can't always do that, but I follow the stories because I'm also a multitasker. So I want to exercise. Go ahead, tell me the visual part.
All right, but an audio book is because I'm starting to do audiobooks, so as a vocalist.
Yes.
And the job of the person doing the audio book is to paint the picture for you. So you may not understand a particular word, but you have gotten the picture and the environment in which you may get stuck. So think about it. When you're reading the book, Don't,
You still
cinematic.
visualize. Yes.
Yes, cinematic.
Yes.
It's very important that it's like the book becomes a cinema, a piece of cinema for
Hmm.
you. So it again, it's that visual element for you. And
Yes.
it's
Yes.
the one thing that kind of trips you up maybe that academic word, and there you go with that word thing where you can't filter it through. That kind of hits that filter,
Yeah.
but you get it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I get it. But
You
yeah,
work
and I'll
around it. You
figure it
work
out.
around.
No, I'll
But
look it up.
it's
I'll
still
still
there.
find a way to
Yeah, it's still
find.
the visual is still. You are a very, very visual person.
I'm very visual.
Yes,
The
yes,
world, I can't imagine not being able to see
yes.
nature. I look at that and I'm fascinated. And in fact, if a person comes and talks to me and they have too much, they have beautiful jewelry, and I'm looking at how they've coordinated it, I lose them, and I have to stop and go, listen, sorry, but what you're wearing is distracting me,
Yes,
because
yes.
I'm
It's
looking
the
at,
visual,
look at
the
that,
whole
look at
visual.
the
Yes,
visual.
yes,
I'm
yes.
getting I do better if I don't see them and I'm just listening, because
Listening,
I
and
get
then
distracted.
no,
In
because
fact, your dear friend Debbie, the Fudge, she wore fabulous things, and I would look at what she was wearing, and sometimes she's talking to me, and I've now lost. I go, oh, where did she get that? That really, I like the way.
yes,
So now
yes.
my mind is thinking,
It's all the way. She's just talking away about some academic thing, but you're
yes, and
looking
I'm
at,
like,
my
oh, that's
gosh,
not like,
what color
okay,
red is that? That's really a
exactly,
great color.
exactly.
Again, it's the visual. It's the
Yes,
visual.
yes,
I mean, but there's a part of us that does that, but you do it more than most people.
yes,
You really
yes,
do it more than most
yes,
people.
yes,
I am always stunned by women who are stunning.
yes, yes.
And when they come to talk to me, the first thing I do, what I do, my filter is different. I immediately tell them I think that they're stunning, so I can get that out of the way.
Well, see, yes, I've had to tell people, excuse me, no, but I tell them that it's not that they are stunning, that's not what gets me. It's it might be an object,
Oh
or the
yes, I
coordination
understand.
of their clothing.
Yes,
I
yes,
capture their beauty and I can move on.
yes,
But I'm just saying their clothing and a piece of jewelry, and I look at, so that's what distracts. And I
right.
then
Yes,
tell them, I'm
yeah.
sorry, but I'm a visual person, and your clothing is distracting me
Distracting.
because I
Well, see,
find
but
it
that's
fascinating.
what we're saying the same thing, because what I
Yes,
immediately know
yes,
that if I say that, I the distraction is done now, because I've
right.
already in my mind I filtered it through, and now I
Yes,
said, because
yes,
if I don't say it, I'm
right.
constantly half listening to them saying, "Gosh,
Yes,
you really look fabulous," and gosh,
right,
when can I say that? Should I say to them that they look? So
right,
I'm
right,
off in a
right.
whole nother thing. I'm off in a whole nother
Yes,
thing.
yes,
Yes, yes.
yes,
It's
yes,
being an artist of many, there are many different kinds. I
yes.
had a dancers table on, round table on that long ago, and these women had been dancing since they were children. They see
Mm,
the world. Everyone sees the world with their own gift. They
yes,
see the
yes.
world in a
In
flowing
movement.
way. Yes,
Yes,
in movement. Exactly.
yes,
Exactly.
yes,
So it's always so wonderful to talk to different people and how they see the world through the gift that God has given them.
yes,
You know,
yes,
it really is great. It's great.
absolutely.
I really can't thank you enough for coming in and sharing all of this, and your gift and your talents and everything. It's really wonderful. We didn't have enough time to go through a lot, but maybe we'll come back again and do some more, talking
Thank
about
you.
it.
This has been a wonderful experience for me as well, and I thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It's just been great. And I'm so glad, I talked to Debbie about it, and I went, yeah, Robin. What's Robin doing? Again, like I said, what I did was I picked immediately, and I don't even think I have it. Wait a minute. I may have it. I want to put it on camera now. And I know you say, oh, it's old, it's old, it's old. I want you to know how important your work has been, that I've kept it all these years,
Wow.
so that, see, here it is. And you'll see, I have it in my plastic so it doesn't.
It is probably, yes, that's the one I thought it was. Well, I have that. The original is hanging in my house, but I sold one and I made another one for myself. So in
Yes.
my New York house, my New York place. As you walk up the stairs, there it is.
There it is.
So
Yes.
yeah.
And then there is just one more that you gifted me, and this is 2001.
Women. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Another card. That's the card. That's called the congregation.
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
really, and I've kept them in plastic.
Yeah,
So
wow.
they would not, I didn't want them to age. I have, I pull them out. I talk to people about artistry, about the gift that of how we see ourselves.
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know it's very interesting. I'm doing a piece on Saturday and Sunday on UB Blake and the
Oh,
100th year
yes.
anniversary of Shuffle Along, and then being in
Yes.
UB and all of this, and there's a book that the authors are coming on, and in the book it's very interesting to note the reference to the name Alexander in the
Hmm.
20s. That meant black man.
Really?
Yes, Alexander's ragtime band,
Right, right.
black man, and baby meant black woman.
Wow.
So that's how they saw us. What's important about your work is it shows how we see us. And, for many, many years, we were relegated to only being able to see ourselves through someone else's
But
eyes.
that it's interesting
So,
that you should say that because that next work that I'm doing about our history through the eyes of the masters, master African American
American.
artists,
Yes,
and how do we paint ourselves?
exactly.
And
That's
how,
a
and
very
so that's
well,
exactly.
eggs. When I direct pieces by people who look like me, um, who talk about me,
Mhm.
because I think that they come in a good place. But I also direct pieces that are universal that I can apply me to.
Yes, yes.
you know and I'm attracted to that. I'm attracted to a piece now that was not written for people of color, but I'm having people of color do it, and then I'm going to have an Asian company do it. And
Yeah.
so the visual of where we are in the world is so very important. It helps us a lot, and then it hurts a lot because
Mhm.
people don't know how
Mhm.
to use it
Mhm.
so
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Hmm.
Well, this has been absolutely wonderful, and you're excellent at this. Okay. I'm sorry, I just had to
Oh,
say that.
thank you.
I had
Oh
to
my
say that.
goodness.
You do a great job, and so it's been a pleasure.
Well, it's but when you have a lot for me to do. That's why I was like, okay, Robin, yes, 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 yes. But then I have to go because I
That's
just
why, but
you
I
did so
don't
much.
like to do it in a way because I have too much to talk about. It's like, oh, I could just go on about this and
Yeah,
this and
yeah. Well, every project that you do is so rich in that you talk about how it comes to you. You talk about how it is executed, and all and so you can see the way you talk about it. It's so visual. So I would sit there and I'm sitting there looking and listening, and then which I usually I'm always looking at the clock. I looked up and I went, oh shoot, no,
oh,
I have to stop talking.
oh my gosh, I didn't get this question. I
I
thought
didn't get,
about
I didn't, and because I had to get you to Cape Cod, and I had to, explain how that
right,
happened, and
right,
I had to
right.
get all of those things in. I
Yeah,
wanted to anyway, just a
yeah,
little touch of
yeah,
all the different things in your life, your
yes,
relationship, your son, the education, all of
yeah,
those things. So thank
yeah.
you so very much for sharing all of that. You've been absolutely wonderful.
And
Thank
so
you.
have you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank